What happens when everyone says you're perfect together, but you need your best friend on every single date? My friend Holly and I were voted couple most likely to get married in the yearbook, even though we told everyone we would never date. But I get why. She was the beautiful homecoming queen, and I was football captain. The usual cliche, except, we weren't jerks to everyone like in those movies. So yeah, the pressure was ridiculous. Every school event, every party, even parent-teacher conferences, someone would pull me or Holly aside and ask when we were finally going to date. Our homeroom teacher literally started a betting pool. The only person who listened was my best friend Kira, who told us, "You guys don't have to date just because everyone else wants you to." But I didn't realize she had told us that for a really good reason, something I found out way later. When Justin Bieber said never say never, he was right. Because at our classmates' pool party, it finally happened. Holly and I were sitting by the fire pit, everyone chanting kiss, 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 like we were in middle school. She looked at me, rolled her eyes, and said, "Let's just get this over with." When we kissed, everyone literally cheered. To me, it felt like nothing. Not bad, not good, just literally pressing your face to another human being. But since everyone was so happy about it, we started dating, and everything went smoothly, right? Not exactly, but it did lead to something so much better. To be fair, our dates weren't that bad. Our first official date was that weekend. Holly insisted Kira come with us. "It'll be weird without her," she said, and honestly, I was relieved. We'd always done everything as a trio since 7th grade anyway, so every date, Kira was there. We'd make her sit between us at the movies, all because Holly and I both wanted to be able to hear her jokes and hilarious side comments. And I loved watching her hide her face in her jacket during scary scenes. And at fancy restaurants, whenever Holly and I would run out of things to talk about and start staring at our menus in panic, Kira would jump in with the funniest stories to keep us going. People thought it was weird, but I was having the best summer of my life. With her around, I didn't have to think about how to date someone. The hangouts and conversations just came naturally. Even our families got used to it. Holly's mom started automatically setting 3 places at dinner. My dad called Kira the relationship translator. So when Kira couldn't make it to the next big date, let's just say it was a real eye-opener. Holly's cousin was getting married in San Diego, and I was her +1. I told her to take Kira instead, but Kira insisted, "You guys will be fine. It's just 2 days. Enjoy some romancing too." But she was wrong. The car ride on the way there was painful. Holly and I fought each other over Spotify, arguing whether her podcast or my music was the best choice. We eventually just switched to complete silence, making the 4-hour drive feel more like 12. At the wedding, we sat through dinner barely talking, realizing we never really had much to say without Kira around to prompt us. Even when we slow danced together, other couples were lost in each other while we were mechanically following the steps like a recital. Back at the hotel, Holly kicked off her heels and flopped on the bed. "This is weird without Kira," she said. I sat down next to her. I was just thinking that. Without discussing it, we both pulled out our phones and FaceTimed her. She answered from her grandma's hospital room, whispering so she wouldn't wake her up. For 20 minutes, she made us laugh with stories about the nurses and her grandma hitting on the doctor. When we hung up, the room went quiet again. Holly turned to look at me. "Why is this so hard when she's not around?" I knew exactly what she meant. "We haven't had a single real conversation all day. I'm exhausted trying to be your perfect boyfriend, girlfriend," we both said at the same time. We looked at each other and started laughing. "How bad would it be if we just broke up?" she asked. I grinned. "I'm sure not as bad as our actual dates." She laughed in agreement. So we went back to being 3 best friends like nothing had happened, except something still bugged me. While the 3 of us were hanging out at Denny's, I looked at Kira and asked, "Kira, you knew Holly and I wouldn't work out, right?" "How?" She stopped mid-chew. "Because you two are better as friends?" She shrugged. "That night at Spring Formal, when you told me not to date her." "Why?" Her eyes widened, surprised. "You know why," she said. So quietly, I almost missed it. She turned away, cheeks flushing red, and for a moment, I felt my heart racing anxiously. Then she took a deep breath and turned to face me with a courage I'd never seen before. "Because I've been in love with you since 7th grade, Holly gasped, then immediately slapped her hand over her mouth. Sorry, continue. "I'm not here," she said, stuffing herself with fries while the scene unfolded. I reached across the sticky Denny's table and took Kira's hand. "Kira, I'm an idiot. You were the one who always laughed at my terrible puns. You made every conversation fun. You always remembered the smallest details, down to my allergies. You're nice, funny, and now, I don't think I could go a day without you." We stared at each other silently, too shy to say anything more. So Holly stepped in. "Please kiss," she whispered, unable to stop from fangirling. I laughed and leaned forward.